Hi, you lovely humans. This is Edda, and welcome to Beauty Flip, where I help ordinary people see what's just so extraordinary about them. Today, we're looking at the crazy ways that all of those companies get you to buy because they know how to make you feel pretty and secure. Yep. But beyond that, I also invited a friend to come play, one of my heroes, Anthony, and he's going to share this journey with us today. So let's take a look. Hi, all you fabulous little human beings out there. Well, last week we talked about education, and you got to meet three heroes, one of which was me. Boop.
Yes.
Today, we're actually going to go into worthiness. Oh, it's such a topic. We're actually going to dive into this idea of the haves and the have-nots.
Yep.
I have another human with me, and I want to introduce you. Who are you?
And I have a name.
I'm
Anthony.
Are you? Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony, so glad to have you. So just a little bit about this man right here next to me. He works at my salon and has been with us for how long now?
Close to 3 years.
Oh my God. And we just are so excited to share just some ideas about this concept of worthiness. There's so many times I know I've been telling you I have all these amazing conversations with my clients, with my employees, and with the people in my chair. And so Anthony said, yeah, I'll come. I'll come and just have this convo with you.
Thrilled to be here. Yeah.
Well, thrilled to have you. Okay, so can we just talk about do any of us actually feel like we're worthy?
No, so often not, right?
Oh my God, right? And truthfully, if truth be told, this is a key factor of how we are marketed. We are marketed to be aware of what our gaps are. Hello, you have perspiration. You need deodorant. Ta-da! And then they sell you deodorant.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're someone who wants to smell all pretty, maybe you buy one type of deodorant. And if you're someone who's an athlete, you buy another type. And if you're somebody who wants to smell more powerful, you buy a third, right? And so there's 1,000,001 ways that they sell us deodorant. And we're all going to the grocery store and we're oh, don't forget the deodorant. So I think it's a thing.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
It's everywhere, and that's just deodorant, right? So I use that example because what we want to kind of dive into is just again a little bit of an underbelly called selling to the have-nots. Hey, welcome to the show, have-not.
Here we are.
Because truthfully, I don't even care if you're really rich; you're still a have-not. I believe that in my heart of hearts. I believe every single person out there is still trying to beat out somebody else. That's why all these crazy rich people, they need more money, right? Ooh, oh my God, I'm not the richest oligarch. I need to be the richest oligarch. There's no stopping this.
No.
So I believe we are in a place where we really just have to understand that marketing companies, ad companies, they market to all of our insecurities. So Anthony and I are going to do a little thing here. We're going to name all the insecurities that we can think of. I'm sure we won't name them all, but we're going to do our best.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to call this one Insecure Much? Hi. These are all the things that most women are insecure about. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I have big boobs. I have big arms. I have big thighs. I don't have big enough thighs. I do not have a big enough butt. Anthony, what about you?
Gay men, that we're bald, that we're not muscular enough, that we're not tall enough, that we aren't good athletes, that we yes.
Absolutely. And then if you're an older woman, oh my God, you don't even exist anymore. So why don't you just shut up and leave the room? If you're a working woman, oh my God, you have left your children at home. Who is taking care of your children? If you're not a working woman, oh my God, you suck because you are doing nothing with your brain. You are rotting your brain. Anything else that you can think of for men?
that you don't exercise enough, that you are single, that you don't have enough friends, that you're too quiet, that you talk too much.
And if you're married, oh my God, you're married and you don't go out enough and you do not have a social life anymore. I mean, the list is
Goes
endless. It does, right? How'd we do? I mean, should we applaud us?
Oh, sure.
Bravo, bravo. I think we're brilliant together. I hope we have named at least some of your insecurities. And if we didn't, so sorry.
Bummer.
That will just be another one of our insecurities that we failed at naming all the insecurities. Yes. The reason why we talk about this is because when your alarm wakes you up, you don't even realize it, but within seconds, you're already feeling so insecure. Yeah. Whether it's that you got a meeting, or whether it's that you, if you listen to the It Girl episode, you just aren't an It Girl. You failed. If it was maybe the education episode, oh my God, you don't have the degree. You're not actually worthy. There's 1,000,001 ways that you are just not it. You are a have.
Not.
Yes. So what we want to do is welcome to our little party of have-nots, because gosh, we are so freaking cute. And if we could just own up to the fact that we're so tired of being have-nots and just let that shit go.
Let it go.
Let it go. I think that's just the script right there. How do you let that go? Well, part of it is you just got to say, I'm not going to buy the shit anymore. I'm just not going to buy the shit.
Don't buy it.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you don't even know if you need this shit. I know we've gone through this before, and we've looked at how Amazon in particular has literally created ways for you to spend more money by not thinking, because they want you to just put it in the cart, click, and it's sent to you. And right there's billions of dollars that they make just on you not thinking. And you, guess what they're asking you to do? Feeling insecure. About what the heck happens to us when we basically wake up and start feeling insecure. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
What these admin and marketing people know that you just might not know is they gotcha. They gotcha before you even knew they gotcha. The very first thing when we're feeling insecure is that we basically pretty much activate the amygdala. And this is this crazy moment where we feel threat. Have you ever felt that before, where you're oh shit, do I need the thing?
Exactly. I'm in fight or flight.
Oh my God, there's so many, lately there's this one thing on Instagram that I see all the time, and being a woman of my age, there's it's supposedly the perfect skincare, magical skincare that is going to actually heal all of my skin, and I'm gonna look so young. I'm gonna look like a baby.
A baby.
I'll get carded again. I hope, right?
Please.
So there it is. I'm just opening up my Instagram, and suddenly it's do you want to look like this horribly old person? And I'm no. And so what do we have to do? Well, I just gotta buy it. And there's so many times I've gone now because I know better, and I do all the research. So then I waste so much time researching whether there's any truth to the fabulous miracle serum that's just gonna make my face so young again. So as we were saying, basically we go into this crazy place where the amygdala, and our fabulous little example of my amygdala taking off on just are you looking old yet? Takes off. And you just go into this it's a fight, flight, or freeze little mechanism, and you don't even realize it, but your decision making is actually coming from this more primal part of your brain. And what is completely offline is your prefrontal cortex. It's I feel tired. I think I'll go take a nap.
Exactly.
And what the heck is a prefrontal cortex for? Well, reasoning, that's one thing. Problem solving, oh shoot, I'm gonna now make a decision whether I need facial cream, but I'm not even gonna use reasoning or problem solving. I'm just gonna click with my little reptilian brain. I am in flight, fright, or freeze. Help me. And then you know what else, Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the third thing that happens to your little brain, and all you did was look at a stupid little ad on Instagram, is your working memory starts to collapse. It's like, oh shit, because you're in such a cortisol response. You feel that? Do you feel that? Like, and like your brain is like releasing cortisol. So basically it's like shutting down memory. It's like, hey, we need you to just focus, because what your brain is thinking, there's a tiger in the room and we don't want you to think about the tiger. We want you to just act.
Yes.
But all you're looking at is face cream.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Your phone on a little screen.
It's crazy. So here you are. You're completely catastrophizing this craziness of like, I'm going to look like the wrinkliest old bitch. Yeah. If I don't buy the cream. So ultimately, yeah, a lot of things that are going into this. And then another really sad fact is that you begin to misread social cues. So this might be where like my husband comes in and says, good morning. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong? Why? What?
They're not wrinkles. Like, good morning. They are not wrinkles. I am still young.
All within minutes of waking up. Yeah.
Right. I haven't even had my coffee yet.
Yeah, that's it. That's part of it.
I'm old. I'm old. My husband doesn't love me. What do you mean I don't love you? The way you looked at me.
Said that.
You said that to me. I was brushing my teeth. I know. The way you brushed your teeth at me was so horrible, right? We're just
dreadful.
Crazy. Oh my gosh.
No tiger.
So this one is such a kicker, and I teach this to my staff, but literally even a neutral look can look judgmental. There is a way that our brain will scan for threats and will take things that are completely neutral. Tones of voices, neutral. The way someone looks at you, neutral, and we will read into it and we will make these things into a threat. So once again, here I am. I'm just looking for facial cream. Yeah. I wasn't actually even looking for facial cream. No. It just came up on my feed. And it's like, buy now, because you will be prettier, you will look younger, and people will love you. And I'm like, I want to be loved. And so before I know it, I'm now like thinking my husband is looking at me all mean. I have no brain because cortisol has literally taken away any problem solving choices. And I'm literally in fight, flight, or freeze. And this just, if we could just like add in another layer of fun on this one.
Yeah.
It pretty much creates like all these other networks, these identity networks getting triggered. And so we start to feel like shame, exclusion, failure, and maybe even, God forbid, we actually almost go into some of our like more painful childhood scripts.
Yeah, painful.
And let's just remember, all I did was I woke up and I was on the toilet and I clicked on Instagram and a feed came up that shows that it would be for a woman of my age who might want skin cream.
Intense.
So crazy, but we don't even realize that. We think like, oh, they're just advertising because they want to sell a product, and good for them. They want to sell a product, but what they're doing is they're using, let's do this one together. Anthony's first time. So what they're doing to us is they're basically giving us this very complex set of calculations. Oh, and we know where this is going. The mindfuck math. Ready? Yes. So you don't even have coffee. You're not even quite awake. And suddenly you're doing the mindfuck math on how to remain relevant. I want to be relevant. You want to be relevant?
We all do.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. So what we're talking about, and let's remember how excited we are that we're the have-nots. Yes, my little lovely have-nots. Oh, I do love that.
Yeah.
Because to be a have-not means to maybe buy not. And to actually claim what you want. And when you do spend your little pretty pennies, you might actually decide on what matters to you. Later, when we get into some of these other ways that I help people decide where to spend their money, on what beauty treatments, on what beauty items, on what clothes, etc., we begin to see that we build first an identity. So we build this beautiful identity. It's a transformation. We work with sort of spiritual. We work with coaching. We work with leadership. We work with values. And you start to feel not like a have-not. Matter of fact, you realize, ooh, I don't want to actually play on the uneven playing field. Yeah, because we actually don't want or need to do mindfuck math in order for us to feel good about ourselves. Yeah, and so ultimately, the really cool thing about worthiness is that we get to play. What are some of the things that you, in your own journey of being a hero of worthiness, have you discovered about finding values that really like uplift you or even hold you steady in a storm?
Yeah. Social conversations.
Yeah, right? That's a big one.
Yeah, social conversations, not having to pre-plan everything. We're used to have anxiety around it. Just
who doesn't?
Right?
Yeah, say more though.
Sure. So like many people going to social situations, I think, am I saying the right thing? Or if they're new people, are they going to like me? How do I prove that I'm worthy in this?
I know, right? It's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, and I know, like, if you remember episode 2, Join the Party, I give this crazy example of just like going to someone's party, and before you know it, you're like literally in an insane place and you just wanted to go to the party.
Right.
That's all of us. It's all of us. Well, I'm going to give you some edification. What we're going to talk about is a little bit of the stats of just how much money us fabulous little Americans are spending, because we all had a moment where our like prefrontal cortex went offline and we're being like run by our amygdala. And suddenly before we know it, we're just like spending all the dollars in our bank account on a credit card because we don't write checks anymore. And we're just like, yeah, please, Jeff Bezos, please send that to us overnight because I need it right now. Yeah, this is kind of crazy facts here. Oh, goodness. So remember, we always talk about sort of so for this week's Edda, ification, I want to give you some numbers about the gross domestic product, which is a really key figure. It is actually a very important figure by which we look at the health of our economy. So all of you with your amygdala hijacks like fully on and your prefrontal cortex like completely wacko gone and cortisol running through your brain, basically swipe your card and buy, get this number, $308.7 billion with a B US dollars.
Wow.
For all sorts of things, all those creams like I was gonna buy, all those lotions, all the Botox, all the hair and care and makeup, and also clothes. It is a big number, and it is, I have to say, kind of a frightening little part of the underbelly of how our country works. Is basically they want you to spend lots of money to keep us in motion. Now, to some degree, I'm in that industry. And it is also just like a really kind of like thing that I don't want to say, hey, let's take care of yourself. But we do have to kind of grapple with how do we want to spend those dollars? Yes, to some degree, there's about 4.6 million of us fabulous Americans who are in this beauty industry doing all sorts of jobs for all you fabulous little lovely human beings who, oh, by the way, are usually coming in because you feel sort of like a have-not. Yeah. And again, you know how I feel. You are a beautiful little cake. And if you want to put some icing on that, please do. I love that for you. But please make sure your prefrontal cortex is actually activated and you're making decisions that maybe are for you. So we're going to get into something, and I brought Anthony here not just to also like sing along with me and do mindfuck math, but because Anthony has been on this great journey about worthiness. Can you just share a little bit of this like really cool heroic journey that you're on?
Yeah, sure.
Can you name some things of like your journey in regard to your worthiness?
Absolutely. I moved to Chicago probably about 6 years ago, and in that I had this brand new start of building a community, choosing a community.
So hard
And
right?
overwhelming, but also a great opportunity to say, what kind of people do I want to be around?
I love that.
And how do they show up? And what do they need to do? And what do I need to do to continue to build relationships?
I love that. Yeah. And so like this has been like this really cool journey, and Anthony and I always talk about like as he just continues now here 6 years, you said?
6, almost 7.
Yeah, that he is continuing to find like new ways of him, not just finding his people and then sort of locking down, but one of the things Anthony really enjoys, and this is why he's also here, kind of like on the note of last week's episode, education, is that Anthony really loves to learn and grow. And so part of his community are people who are learning and growing. Part of his community are people who give back. So there is a big way that Anthony is creating not just like a group of people to hang out with, and it can be whatever you choose it to be, but for him, these things feed him.
They feed,
right?
They feed, and they're people I talk to about, like, if we're going to be in relationship together, then we have to talk about problems, that we have to be showing up for other people in our community, that we have to, that it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's an important part of new friendships for me.
Yeah. So for today's episode, what I am sending all you fabulous little humans to go do is first, like, just like have a moment, like maybe put on that song. So for today's homework for all you fabulous have-nots, oh my God, I love that. I love that we're all have-nots. Yay. And anyone who thinks you're a have, you need to take a deeper look at yourself. But for all of us really fabulous have-nots, first, like just put on that Pink song, Fucking Perfect. Play that as your ballad for the week and just like rock out, and then start to think about maybe one step. Maybe just like don't buy for a whole week. I've been doing it for the entire Lenten season. I haven't bought a thing unless I needed it like supplies for the salon. But really, like not a thing. And guess what I found out? Oh, I don't need anything. I don't need a thing. I don't need a thing. Wow. So unfortunately, this might, if we all start doing this, affect the GDP. And certain political people might be nervous about that. But ultimately, my lovely, lovely, lovelies, is you might begin to take the storm of people telling you what you need to have to hopefully feel better about yourself, and start to actually find the greater, most beautiful voices within you internally. And potentially through prayer or meditation, those voices too, that actually show you that you're not a have-not. You are a have. Always was, from the day you were born and will be, till the day you leave this fabulous earth. So, until next time, we'll see you later, my little lovelies. Bye. Bye. Okay, all you little crazy have-nots. I hope you enjoyed today's episode about looking at the craziness of how our insecurities will take us on a spending spree. Yes, my little lovely have-nots. Anyhoozle, I really do hope you enjoyed meeting Anthony, one of my heroes, and I look forward to seeing you next week, we're going to keep on diving into worthiness and why you are so goddamned beautiful.